This is my review of the second volume of Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro by Nanashi. So, just from the cover alone, the cover is got some pretty nice character art, but it's also got this really vibrant kind of emerald green that contrasts well with the text. So, it does have more of a sort of like a light novel esque title where it is a sort of like a full sentence rather than just a couple of words. But yeah, it's the cover is really good, quite expressive. Gives you an idea of what to expect from this manga. And then on the back, it has a little 4 comma comic that is sort of representative of the kind of things that you would expect from the series. So basically, it's just the interaction um, between Nagatoro and her senpai, who in the series is pretty much just called Senpai. It's by Vertical Comics, and the release is kind of a nice matte finish, so it's not too glossy. And then inside, I've just got a bookmark on this page. So this is a sort of like a good representation of what to expect in the artwork of the series. So you've got the character sort of overlapping and breaking out of the panels. A lot of expressive a lot of expression in the characters' faces, and you get the characters from various angles. So, for example, this one is above the eye level, so it's sort of from overhead. This panel, but yeah, the line work is relatively heavy for the outline of the characters, but that sort of draws and makes the character pop out of the page somewhat. But yeah, Nanashi obviously plays a lot with the thickness of lines, so not everything's the same thickness, and that creates a lot of texture to the image and gesture. The dialogue reads fairly naturally. It's quite conversational. It's basically just all character dialogue. So while a good portion of the page is dialogue boxes or bubbles, there's per each bubble aren't actually a lot of words, so it reads quite easily. And you notice how the artwork draws your eye across the page. So you start reading the text, go down, and then sort of draws organically across the whole page. There's no particular part that stands out too much, so it's a well balanced composition, and you get a sense that the author Nanashi actually really cares about the composition of his work, especially in regards to the character Senpai actually drawing like doing artwork in a club room, and obviously not really getting the recognition to the artwork he deserves outside of Nagatoro, who mostly uses going to the club room as an excuse to tease the main character, which sort of it shows the main character Senpai. Um, it shows him sort of getting used to having interactions with other people, as he obviously is quite an awkward guy, at least at the beginning of the series. And yeah, each chapter is very episodic, so they each chapter doesn't really tie too directly into the next one. So you can read the series out of order. I mean, there are people who like to see the slow progression between the relationship between the characters over several chapters, but I think that's not necessary to the enjoyment of the series. And yeah, the color work is also quite nice, but quite simple. It definitely, um, yeah, it's it's got a air of simplicity about this series, where it's not trying to do anything too overly complicated, and it's executing its core formula like quite well. So that's Don't Tell Me Nagatoro. The basically just looks really nice, and it reads like reads quite smoothly on the page, where no particular part of the page is drawing too much attention from the other parts. So that's my review of the second volume of Don't Tell Me Nagatoro. I'm definitely planning on picking up the later ones. Alright, cheers.